Good morning. I am Day. I have found that upon awakening, it is useful to affirm and devote myself to the me of my recovery. I have intentionally pursued wellness and recovery with these daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations. Walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. March 30th. Our group conscience. Sometimes the good is the enemy of the best. Alcoholics Anonymous comes of age, page 101. I think these words apply to every area of AA's three legacies: recovery, unity, and service. I want them etched in my mind and life as I trudge the road of happy destiny. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 164. These words, often spoke by co founder Bill W., were appropriately said to him as a result of the group's conscience. It brought home to Bill W. the essence of our second tradition. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. Just as Bill W. was originally urged to remember, I think that in our group discussions, we should never settle for the good but always strive to attain the best. These common strivings are yet another example of a loving God, as we understand Him expressing Himself through the group conscience. Experiences such as these help me to stay on the proper path of recovery. I learned to combine initiative with humility, responsibility with thankfulness, and thus relish the joys of living my 24-hour program. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al Anon, March 30th. When I heard that Al Anon was a program in which we learned to keep the focus on ourselves, I wondered what others would think of me if I acted on that principle. Surely they would think me inconsiderate, thoughtless, and uncaring. Those were my complaints about the alcoholics in my life. I didn't want to be that way. Instead, I tried to do things for others that seemed loving and generous, even when I didn't want to do them. I couldn't understand why I so often grew resentful after such actions. My efforts to be selfless by trying to please everyone but myself weren't working. The focus was on their response rather than on what seemed right for me to do. There was nothing unconditional about this kind of giving. My sponsor helped me to see that if I paid more attention to myself and to doing what I thought was best, I would be free to give without strings attached. Then I could truly be generous. Today's reminder: the Al Anon program works when I keep the focus on myself, attend lots of Al Anon meetings, and make recovery my top priority. As I become more fully myself, I am better able to treat others with love and respect. There is a quote: "We are best able to help others when we ourselves have learned the way to achieve serenity." The quote is from the 12 Steps and Traditions. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. March 30th. God centeredness. Gradually, as we become more God centered than self centered, our despair turns to hope. Basic text, page 95. What a glorious thing to have hope. Before coming to Narcotics Anonymous, many of us lived lives of utter hopelessness. We believed we were destined to die from our disease. Many members speak of being on a pink cloud their first months in the program. We've stopped using, made some friends, and life looks promising. things are going great, then reality sets in. Life is still life. We still lose jobs. Our partners still leave us. Friends still die. We still get sick. Abstinence is no guarantee that life will always go our way. When the reality of life on its own terms set in, we turn to our higher power and remember that life happens the way life happens. But no matter what occurs in our recovery, we need not despair, for there is always hope. That hope lies in our relationship with our higher power. This relationship, as expressed by the thought in our text, develops over time. Gradually, we become more God centered as we rely more and more on the strength of our higher power. Life's struggles don't have to drag us into the sea of despair. As we focus more on God, we focus less on ourselves. Just for today, I will rely on my higher power. I will accept that regardless of what happens, my higher power will provide me with the resources to live with it. Today, Emotions Anonymous, March 30th. Reflection for today. When I am troubled with my character defects of impatience or perfectionism, I can reflect on the slogan, Easy Does It. When I plant seeds in my garden, I do not go and dig them up every day to see how fast they're growing. Similarly, when I plant myself in my EA group, nourished by the experience, strength, and hope of my fellow members, I can allow myself the fullness of time for growth expressed in small daily increments. Meditation for today. May I not overreach myself, but be content with my natural rate of growth. Today I will remember I am nurtured by the fertile garden, my group, and warmed by the sunlight of the Spirit, my higher power. I will bloom in my own way, in my own time. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. March 30th. Tradition 3. Adult children who are codependents, addicts, debtors, overeaters, sexually compulsive, alcoholics, and gamblers are members if they have a desire to recover from the effects of a dysfunctional family. We cannot turn away anyone seeking help from the isolation and madness of the effects of a dysfunctional upbringing. BRB, Big Red Book, page 505. The all or nothing thinking that most ACAs have before recovery would have us draw bold lines about who is a bona fide ACA member or not. Time has shown us that people coming to a meeting are the only ones who can say they are members. And once having claimed a seat, and with rare exceptions, no one can force them to give it up. Our fellowship welcomes anyone from a dysfunctional home, whether alcohol was present or not. Adults brought up in foster homes usually lived in dysfunctional situations and can also find a safe place with us to share the effects of their childhood experiences. There are some occasions when a member creates such fear that the group's conscience has to step in to set up appropriate boundaries. Fortunately, these instances are extremely rare. The scarier idea is that an adult child may be turned away from our door, usually by well-meaning ACAs who unknowingly let their own biases get in the way. Just because someone doesn't talk or they yell, curse, pout, or cry does not disqualify them from membership. The affirmation reads, on this day, unless someone is creating a hazard to others or to the meeting property, I will do what I can to ensure that all members are free to express their experiences as best they can. DHB Recovery Network, daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations. Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be.